There we go. Alrighty. When last we left off, our intrepid band of adventurers had concluded their business in the city of Linchester, I believe it was. Sorry, no, that's Linchester. That's the capital, Fanthrope. You finished your business in the city of Fanthrope. After saying some farewells, you returned to Lanchester, where you performed a few what's it called? Not chores. A few errands, and largely just settled in for your first real excursion back in a civilized and safe city. You had given.
Not to interrupt the GM, but all of a sudden I connected. I guess just persistence fixed it.
Cool. I lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry.
Right. The king, you spoke with King Theodore and updated him on what had transpired in the city. He was assuredly anxious about the discovery of the mind flayers that haunted Fanthrope, but is at least relieved to some extent that they have been dealt with. He is sending word across his domain. He says he will send word across his domain to keep an eye out for similar reportings. And it asked you all to attend a meeting with him in the following morning in order to update you on developments throughout the kingdom and the wider region. He also graciously provided you with free lodging. And just ignore. I'm having to, for whatever reason. I'm sure my fellow DMs know how annoying it is to move the little banner tag for the player.
Oh my god, I know exactly.
Yeah.
I feel your pain, Senate.
King Theodore has given you the deed of ownership of an estate house within the city itself.
Lovely.
It is a simple square-shaped manor with a fairly decent-sized courtyard in the middle. The building itself possesses 12 bedrooms and numerous bathrooms. It is more than sufficient for your merry band, though largely unfurnished, unfortunately.
Right.
Still, it is warm, it is dry, and it is cozy, if not a little dust-filled.
Well,
And with that,
we even have a courtyard.
yes, you have a little courtyard. And a fountain. Okay. Nope, DM roller. Flinger. That is the noise Dirk makes as he opens his eyes and realizes he is rolling off the bed and onto the floor. A thick layer of dust coats his face and kind of sticks to his tongue.
The fuck.
The bed was a little
off to see what the fuck happened with my bed.
The bed itself, it looks like you kind of just, as Dirk examines the bed, it looks like he just he kind of squishes the mattress. It's very loose, very easy to sink into. So probably as Dirk was tossing and turning, he rolled a little too close to the edge, and it wasn't firm enough to support his weight, so he just bloop. It was very comfy, though. There are bedrooms on the ground. The structure has 2 floors. There are bedrooms on the ground floor and top floor. Where do you think Dirk? Do you have a preference on where Dirk would go?
I suppose the ground floor?
Fair enough. As Dirk kind of squints his eyes, he looks towards a nearby window, which is kind of, the blinds are kind of like half open. The curtains are about half open, and you can see through numerous civilians. Just many townsfolk move about their day unhindered. Shadows pass by the window, and it just is a fairly calm morning.
Dirk will just stretch and just find his way to the kitchen.
Okay. I'm just gonna... Dirk steps out into the hall. The morning sun beams through the cracks in the cracks in the curtains. The whole area just smells very very stale, very dusty. This whole building had been sealed up for about 2.5 years without anyone coming and going, save the occasional groundskeeper. Well, it's definitely there's a decent layer of dust on just about everything. As you are making your way to the kitchen, you would pass by Nyulrin, or at least Nyulrin's room. How is Nyulrin greeting the morning?
Sort of sitting on the bed, legs crossed, praying.
Dirk, as you pass by, your eyes kind of shift to the side, and you would see Nyulrin just kind of in his meditations upon the bed frame.
I think you forgot to close the door. Or does the even thing have a door?
What did you say? You're kind of far from your...
The fucking microphone's like almost right in my mouth.
Yeah, no, I heard that loud and clear. He was commenting that Nyulrin forgot to close the door.
Thank you, Gold.
Unless the door, unless there is no door.
There is a door, but it's slightly ajar. Enough so for Dirk to see in.
Once again,
Nothing I am doing is private.
Okay. Well, I would recommend closing the door. I don't want to walk in on you naked.
I do not sleep without my armor.
He just cringes up like... Oh, that shit looks uncomfortable.
That is the point. For the body to feel comfort is to become... what's the word?
Weak? Soft?
No. Complacent.
Complacent?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have armor, and I'm pretty sure I'm fine.
Well, you are also not complacent either, considering you do not wash yourself. I'm sure that is also uncomfortable.
I think he's been washing himself lately.
Has he?
Well, I haven't left any blood on me this time.
So, yeah, presumably.
Oh. Complacency everywhere.
Says you. Right, well, I am gonna get... I'm gonna start making some food. If you want anything, you can complacent your ass off to the dining room. And Dirk walks away, not knowing what the fuck complacent means.
uh. Kate,
Mm-hmm.
you awaken in your bed. The fine kimono that you had been gifted from the previous night. What the heck? What? Oh. Okay. I don't. Oh, okay, I guess everything just fixed itself.
What happened?
All of the character sheets didn't have random names, like the default names, and all the images were gone. And then they all just popped back into existence.
That is really weird.
My
Yeah,
phone also seems to have left.
Well, either way, the clothing you had been gifted from Sorel, which you at first thought posited may have been merely a dream, are now adorning your person.
She
The
doesn't even
fabric-
give it a second thought. She just gets up out of bed.
The fabrics are light and extremely soft to the touch. As you step out, I presume you'll head downstairs for breakfast.
Yeah. She would head downstairs to either help with the cooking or just to get food.
Sounds good. And real quick, Dirk. I will say that there's a decent amount of basic supplies. In addition to receiving the key to the estate, you did receive a small I don't know what the word would be.
Housewarming gift.
Yeah, housewarming gift of some salted beef and pork, eggs, bread, some cheese, and a whole keg of wine.
Nice.
Enough food to last. Also, some mixed vegetables, a sack of potatoes, and a sack of carrots, and a sack of radishes. Nothing too impressive, but the sacks are decently small too. But all in all, it's probably enough food to last all of you guys a week if you were, if you were smart with your rationing. It would probably last you a week.
Give me a second.
So yeah, what would you like to cook up?
Just something. Just take some. I don't know, eggs, pork. I guess some vegetables. I guess some potatoes if there's any.
Yeah, there's a sack of
Begrudgingly.
potatoes.
Vegetables.
Begrudgingly.
You also do see part of the gift. You kind of pull out a bottle of what appears to be olive oil.
Yes, make everything taste like olives. I suppose it'll work. And I'll just, I don't know, just cook some potato slices, some strips of pork, something.
Fair enough. Ahran.
All right. Yes.
You found one of the more quiet rooms on the second. Safe. It is It's very cool. It's very quiet. And the bustle of the city below is barely audible. Is very. Sorry. Your room is the quietest room on the second floor, overlooking the courtyard. It is peaceful and it is quiet. When you awaken, it is it is a good morning.
Alrighty. Ahran will say his daily prayers and head downstairs. He's how long were we planning on spending in this town?
That's up for you guys to decide.
I think we were going to spend a couple of days in town, so Ahran would have dispatched his raven to deliver some of the missives to some of the informants and messengers loyal to his church within the town. I presume there's at least a few of those, because there was another priest of Shay operating here.
Yeah, you'll probably need some time to actually get in contact with them. Believe it or not, the goddess of shadow and secret does not have a single universal
Password.
Yeah.
Right.
But you will know the sign.
Yeah.
You will know the
I get
signs to look for and be able to uncover the leads. I'll say it would probably take several hours, probably most of the day, to investigate and locate what you're looking for.
All right.
Not that
Cool,
there's
and
anything
that'll
particularly
probably-
difficult in it. It's just simply many
Time
times the
consuming.
the signs will be scattered. You need to locate them, and then you need to be able to work your way backwards through it, basically, to find where the Saiyan priests are residing.
Ahran will give his raven some feed and then head down to see about getting some food for himself.
And all right, and finally, Jakar, my friend. Maxwell?
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Jakar has awoken.
Cool.
You're in a soft, warm, and very cozy bed.
I guess get on up and go see what everybody else is doing.
All right.
I have nothing special I need to do in my room.
One by one, you each start making your way into the kitchen, where you would find Dirk hard at work making breakfast. It might be for himself, or he may up for the whole group.
Giving a very pointed stare at Faylee as she seems to be critiquing me.
You would also notice that she seems to be wearing very different clothing to what she was before. Where previously her outfit was a sort of mix of kind of a bluish black robes. She's now wearing more of a white and sort of sky blue kimono.
I know how to cook. I just do not have the ingredients to cook any good meals.
Just throwing pork and potatoes into a skillet is hardly able to be called a meal.
I have seasonings
It's
here.
If it fills the belly, it's food.
I will hold up like the salt, pepper, and like oregano.
Bailey would just shake her head, like, I cannot believe this.
What would you expect for breakfast then, Faylee?
Probably a salad.
Well, you could at least braisen the meat. We do have wine, yes?
Brazen? That's not a word. You just made that up.
No, shit. No, that is a word. I am not using the wine on breakfast.
Okay, well, if not that, then at least let me help you with the potatoes.
Are you good at skinning them?
Quite. I used to do a lot of the cooking back at the farm.
Good. I was the chef of my gang, of my last gang.
Fairly, where did you get that out?
Which means this is my kitchen, and I will hold up a ladle.
Thalie just stopped.
Ahran's
She
question.
can't even handle what is going on in this kitchen right now.
Ahran's question still stands. Where did she get that outfit?
Sorrel happened to give it to me last night.
Sorrel. Has Ahran heard her talk about Sorrel before?
That is
I
entirely
don't think so.
Kate.
I don't think I've ever brought it up, because when would I have had a chance? The only
Yeah,
time I could
Ahran
think
will-
of was there was the statues of the gods, but I don't think you mentioned any of them there.
No.
Sorrel. A friend of yours just paid you a visit last night?
Yes. He helped me get out of the Feywilds when I stepped into a fairy ring.
Dirk's just quirking an eyebrow.
Ahran blinks.
Dirk is just quirking the eyebrows. He's searing the sides of pork.
No idea.
Yeah, no idea, but you can. The robes are vaguely familiar for some reason. The kimono is vaguely familiar for some reason, but nothing directly catches your curiosity about it. You've maybe seen them or seen an illustration of them at some point, but it doesn't really click in your head.
I swear I've seen robes like that somewhere. Huh. Sorrel, you said.
I could never actually pronounce his name, so that's the name I've always called him by.
And this Sorrel character, you've met him in the Feywild.
Yes, we actually were together for about a year, I want to say.
Are
no,
you
it
gonna
was-
keep interrupting our cooking, or?
I think you've made it quite clear that you want to be left alone to cook.
Yes. Now leave my kitchen. I'm gonna point the ladle at him.
Leave the kitchen.
All right. So long as you're cooking up something for all of us.
Guess I am. Grab the salted pork and just start cutting off more strips.
All right. Thank you, Dirk. Sorrel. What did this... So this Sorrel character, you met him in the Feywild, and he helped you find your way back to the material plane.
Yes, he did. He also mentioned he has a sister.
Did he say what her name was?
He would not have.
I was about to say, that is like so many messages back I would have to go through. No, he never mentioned it.
All right.
The only thing he really told me was she was quite a bit of a troublemaker.
What did this Sorrel character look like?
Would you like me to re-describe him, or?
Please.
Sorrel had the appearance of a human man, middle-aged human man, black hair, graying on the side, a black hair, long black hair. Long slicked back, long slicked back black hair. Boy, that's a tongue
Try saying
twister.
that 5 times fast.
Yeah, that was a tongue twister. Long slicked back.
Black hair.
Black hair, yeah, long slicked back black hair that grays grayed around the ears, and a long beard. Not so much a Santa Claus beard, but just like a full grown beard. He wore kind of the rough leathers of a adventurer or explorer type.
So, you just ran into this explorer type character out in the Feywild, and he helped you back home. And he paid us a visit last night, with no one noticing his arrival?
Well, he didn't come here. It was more like we met in a dream. He doesn't usually do stuff like that, but it is something the Fae can do.
Okay. Is Nyulrin around?
That's entirely up to him.
Yeah, I'd probably come down around this time.
Yeah. Nyulrin, have you ever heard of Ahran will describe Sorrel to him? Individual like that who just helps out lost travelers in the Feywild?
Yeah, I'm sure he also gives them candy.
Well,
He
apparently...
did. He did too. He did.
Yeah,
Well-
Nyulrin just shrugs. Well, I've seen a few of those when I was still an acolyte.
points at Phaley's dress. Well, apparently we had such an individual visit Phaley in a dream last night and give her that.
You know, visiting people in dreams is intrusion of privacy. Though then again, who am I to say? I am losing my mind.
Those visions of the future weighing heavily upon you?
Either that or Dirk's smell.
I can hear you.
Clink, clink,
Careful,
clink, clink, clink.
careful. He's the one preparing our breakfast. You wouldn't want him to spit. I was about to say, you wouldn't want him to spit in your food, would you?
It's contaminated anyway. What's some more spit? But no, I
Really
haven't met
asking
this,
for it.
this character. I have not met this weird man from a dream who gives out candy and also dresses.
Okay. As you all are
Alright.
having your conversation, Dirk would finally, you would finish making your breakfast.
Breakfast for everyone, I guess, since they're all coming downstairs.
Dirk getting increasingly frustrated as more and more people start showing up.
Do you
Me with
want
like
to
a-
be-
Me with it serving for Nyulrin and hearing him talk shit. No, no, I get seconds.
Ahran will nod and say, well, I suppose between blind foretellers of futures and whatnot, an explorer of the Feywild is hardly the strangest ally we can call upon. You trust him, Phaley?
Yes, quite a bit, in fact. He's the one who taught me how to use magic, in fact.
Aren't you a sorcerer?
The music just
Yes,
stopped.
but I still lacked fundamental knowledge. Like, I didn't even know I
Yeah.
was able to cast spells until he helped me out.
Fair enough, I suppose. It's not like every elf comes out of the womb knowing how to use a bow.
That's a mental image.
Huh. Well, I suppose if you trust him. Nyulrin, I did want to ask you, is there anything you would want, I'm going to be trying to get in touch with some of the, fellows of my faith here in the city who have, I'm reasonably confident are here. You know, given one of my brethren was operating as an advisor to the king. Was there anything you would want me to try to pass on to your family specifically?
Depends on the member of the family. I would say let my uncle know that
Right,
I'm
you mentioned-
alive.
Right, you mentioned your uncle was probably one of the more trustworthy people I could get in contact with.
Well, if he's fallen, then there's not much good left in the world.
Well, I suppose that'll. If that's a gamble you're willing to make, then I'll be sure to get in contact with him.
I would appreciate that.
Right.
I'd also like to know.
Can't say how long. Yes.
Yeah, I'd also like to know my own fate. Am I considered dead, missing? Am I wanted?
Right. I will be sure to inquire that of your family. I don't know. Dirk, Jakar, do you have anyone who you would want to get in touch with?
I got my boss.
Your boss.
Mm-hmm. I
thought you said you were the.
No, I am the cook.
Huh.
I was not the leader of my gang. I was just in a gang.
Huh. I never took you as the one who dealt well with authority.
Well, I owe her. Besides, she wasn't much one for authority either.
Kindred spirits and all that. Makes sense. Alright, well. Thank you for the food, by the way, Dirk.
Mm-hmm.
And Ahran will dig into the meat and potatoes.
Meat and potatoes, literally.
I've essentially just made like crispy potato slices and bacon, some cooked bacon, essentially.
Ooh, bacon.
Home fries and bacon, basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Alrighty. As you all begin finishing off your meals for the day, the only immediate thing on your itinerary is that King Theodore would like to speak with all of you has called for a meeting with all of you. Aside from that, you will all be free to pursue, really, whatever you wish.
Alright, then. Well, let's not keep His Majesty waiting.
Is everyone going to the meeting, or will anyone play turkey?
Phaley will stick out and tend to the garden that's in the center of the manor.
I'm gonna go grocery shopping.
And probably get to cleaning the place up, too.
Yeah, it could definitely use a good once-over with a broom and a dustpan.
She won't go shopping, though. She has not the funds for that.
I'm gonna go shopping. We need some actual food.
Yep. I will say one thing. Among some of the amenities that you all located, there was what is, a sort of a large a sort of a granite box that has a liftable lid. Basically, it's with a focus crystal providing a steady icy effect within the sealed container. Essentially, an icebox.
Oh, an enchanted icebox. Lovely.
Fun.
I had some of these back in my estate.
Indeed. Meaning you guys can store food long term.
Very, very nice.
Where is my session?
I wonder if we could ask His Majesty to provide some servants.
We can bring it up during the meeting.
Yes.
Well, Phaley seemed to be entirely convinced that she would be able to clean this entire place from top to bottom on her own.
It'll probably take most of the day, Phaley, to get this place. It's pretty big.
It's gonna turn.
And that's
That's completely fine. I don't really have anything else to do.
It's gonna be that one scene from Howl's Moving Castle, where it's just nothing but dust and crap, just exiting every single window.
I'm sure her dream friend could help out. You know, if he's gonna be living under our roof. Oh no, I definitely believe it.
Ahran,
We've faced weirder things. But if he's gonna be living under our roof, even if it's in dreams, he should pitch in.
I
do actually have prestidigitation.
That will help.
I don't think he's so much as living under our roof as just stopping by to see his old friend.
He's living in Haley's head.
He's still under this roof. He's gotta contribute to the rent.
He's gotta pay rent.
I don't think that counts. I'm not too interested in trying to force some fey creature to pay rent. We'd probably pay it in acorns anyways.
Or turn us into slugs.
That too. And speaking personally, I'm far too fond of salt to be looking at becoming a slug.
Nyulrin kind of looks him up and down. Difficult to tell with humans. Don't you have an expression rubbing salt on the wound?
Yeah, is that not a Dragonborn expression?
No. We don't rub our wounds.
Do you not have healers?
We do. What, do your healers rub your wounds with salt? Seems
It is a
idiotic.
It is a method of disinfecting wounds, yes.
Are you... Well... Yeah, maybe this isn't sensitive, Ahran, but are you from a slum background?
Are you
I
a
But
grew
then
up in a-
again,
grew
I
up-
don't believe they would have salt in the slums.
are you a
But at the same
peasant?
time, not
No.
having alcohol to disinfect wounds also seems a bit weird.
From what I understand, on campaign, soldiers tend to drink all the alcohol. But to answer
Not
your
if they're
question,
disciplined.
I'm from a... And then I suppose you Dragonborn soldiers are far more disciplined than most.
Yes.
That
Oh,
exactly. You see, Ahran.
Correct.
Correct.
You see, Ahran. Our wilderness, our island, is worse than any slum. You know what do
I'm
they
not-
say? Dog eat dog world. Well, for us, it's a dinosaur eat dragonborn world. Fall into
what
lava
is the-
and melt into nothingness.
What is
Well-
the forest Arin is from called again?
That is called the Deep Woods, though I am thinking of that's what the humans would call it, but I am thinking of putting a different cultural name for it.
Yeah.
But
I'm
Deep Woods.
I'm from what you would. I'm from a small. I was raised in a small Kenku village, in what you would know as the Deep Woods. I'm not a stranger to aggressive wildlife.
Does yours breathe fire?
There are electric salamanders.
No, but there's salamanders that shoot lightning.
I know a few dragonborn who can do that.
I always thought salamander was a slur for your kind.
You sure you want to be saying it then?
I'm saying that's what the creature is called. At least in the common tongue. And if you want me to squawk out the name I was first taught, I can do that.
And insult me with another slur?
You know what?
You
Never
know, Ahran, I
mind.
did not take you for a racist.
And I didn't take you for someone who had such thin skin that you sought insult where it did not exist.
Well,
I'll make you eat those words.
sleep with your eye open.
Regardless of insults meant or not meant, we should probably get moving. Dirk,
As
do you
you-
wish to accompany us, or
Go
are you
on.
remaining here?
he has already
Well,
left.
All right. Faye,
Uh,
what about
Dirk.
you, Jakar?
Yeah, might as well.
Alright.
Dirk, as you're heading out the main door and approach the gate, you open it to see a man standing on the opposite side. One you'd recognize. You would see Knight Carver. If you do not recall who this was, he was the guy who kind of went sicko mode in the throne room.
You're addressing me?
Yeah, he's at the entrance of the estate when you were leaving. So you open the door and he's on the other side, and it looked like he was literally seconds from knocking. Hello. Dirk, was it?
Mm-hmm.
I was sent by the
Arr.
king to Carver.
Hmm.
Never mind. I was sent to retrieve you and your comrades.
For what?
The meeting with the king.
Oh, fuck. Is there any way I could skip out of it?
He looks to you and just kind of like rubs the back of his neck as he just says, "It's usually not particularly wise to ignore a direct summons from the king, but I doubt he'll be particularly offended."
Yeah, I just don't do well with the presence of royalty in politics.
He just says, "Well, I'm sure he will understand."
Wonderful. And I just push past them.
Hey, okay.
I've got groceries. I've got shit I need to get. Our larder is looking empty.
Okay. As Dirk stomps off, Carver kind of glances to him, glances into the courtyard, glances to him, glances at like the gate, ponders for a second, and then just walks in.
The door's wide open.
Yeah, exactly. He makes his way through the courtyard and eventually arrives at the main door, where you would hear as he grabs the knocker on the door and just clangs it against the wood. So
Alright,
As
you
nobody goes to greet him.
Yeah, Ahran will head to the. Like, we're already. I assume him, Nyulrin, and Jakar already heading that way as they're chatting. Ahran will open the door. Knight Carver, was it?
That is correct. I was sent by King Theodore to retrieve you all. That is, if you're ready.
Yes. Me and my fellows here are ready. Dirk and Miss Faley will not be accompanying us as they have other matters to attend to. As you see a cloud of dust in the background.
One of the windows bursts open as Faley just is letting the dust out.
Watch out, she has a magic broom. She is using Mage Hand to control it.
But yeah, he just says, "I doubt it. I doubt it'll be any issue of note. The king is seeing to. This is largely an informal meeting. The king merely wishes to update you all on recent developments."
Fantastic. Be sure to pass His Majesty's information along to our absent friends.
He nods as he just says, "Well, if you're all ready, please follow me."
Ahran will do so.
He would lead you back to the castle itself. After a short while, after a few minutes after better part of 20, 30 minutes of walking, maybe closer to 45, you arrive at the castle, and soon enough are brought to the meeting room you had seen. You are brought to the council chamber. The room itself is simple and is ornate and well decorated. Finally cleaned up after the chaos of the attack previously. On the walls, the banners of the kingdom hang elegantly, and a large painting of what appears to be a naval battle between several ships crashing amongst the waves in the sea. And in the sky, you can see a pair of airships giving volleys towards one another. Yeah. You were all given
any battle that Ahran's heard of?
Go ahead and roll history. This looks like a depiction of what might be the battle of the Latian Gap. Essentially, if it is the name of the moving the fucking ribbon's so annoying. There we go. The Latian Gap is the name for this section of sea between the mainland as well as Dracosia. You recall that there was a famous battle in the sea during a great storm between the Empire and ships belonging to the Aarakocra of the Floating Isles. Though, predominantly, what was particularly interesting about this engagement was that the Aarakocra had managed to hire a very large mercenary navy from Amos, and somehow managed to transport them all the way to the Floating Isles to counteract the Imperial Fleet, intercepting them in the water. How exactly that they managed to get them there is a secret that the Aarakocra did not have yet to reveal.
Hang on, where's Amos?
That is the rightmost continent.
Okay, so they hired mercenaries from over here, yeah.
The mercenary fleet encompassed Aswani sailors, Drow corsairs, and even pirates from the Jasper Isles. Somehow managed to sneak all of them towards the Floating Isles in time to intercept the Imperial fleet.
I take it the Floating Isles and the Empire aren't on the best of terms?
No. The Aarakocra have fiercely maintained their independence.
And what is the relationship between Kenku and Aarakocra?
Nothing.
They literally do not care.
Yeah, I mean, what's the relationship between humans and monkeys?
You know, fair
That's-
enough.
Yeah, maybe better. We were both mammals, right? Clearly, you have to view each other as kin.
I was going to say, like, I don't know, maybe. I just thought there might be like racism on the part of Aarakocra against Kenku.
Oh yeah, no. The Aarakocra are famously racist to everyone. But they especially, I guess they have a special bias against the Kenku. But it's not like they have any direct connection to one another. They are considered different species.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I could very much imagining them rubbing in, we can fly and you can't.
Yeah. Anyway. You can
Right.
all play, if you would like to, feel free to place your tokens down in the council chamber.
Alrighty. Ah, they dig.
It's a castle of giants.
I
Yeah.
forgot how much I'd fucked up the scale on this map. Fuck you. But yeah, soon enough, you all make your way inside. King Theodore, the young man, sits at the head of the table. The crown, still a little too big for him, is kept in front of him, sitting upon the table. He looks to you all with a stern and resolute expression as he nods in greeting. I thank you all for coming once again. And once more must thank you for your assistance in Fanthro. Your efforts were invaluable in bringing... Thank you. Your efforts were invaluable in bringing my uncle to... Well, I suppose it was more of giving him vengeance for what had befallen him. Now then, I suppose it is. I do not intend to keep you all for very long. And so let us. He reaches to his side and kind of unfurls a number of scrolls as he begins to as he looks to you all. Firstly, there are the blight is continuing to spread. We have reports of large groups of refugees fleeing across the kingdom. Most notably, the recent developments near. Most notably, the blight spreading near Malsborough. But Malsborough has sent many refugees fleeing northward and southward. Though unfortunately, the blight is preventing many of them from reaching us here in the city. Though perhaps that is to our benefit. Sorry.
He's got
We have a. Yeah, sorry, I am struggling to speak today. I apologize.
You're good.
Yeah. Essentially, it is set. According to current reports, the city of Malsborough is currently dealing with a large outbreak of the blight. It is spread northward along the coastline, and is causing increasing problems. Large groups of refugees have attempted to flee to Lanchester. However, the blight lands are increasingly difficult to navigate, and as such, very few are able to safely make it here. Those that do are kept under strict quarantine, and thankfully, they're coming in small enough numbers that it's able to be relatively controllable. But if ever a large group of refugees fled to the city, it's quite likely some would slip through the cracks. And if that were to happen, the city itself would be at risk of outbreak.
What is the name of the kingdom to the north?
That is
Druid
the Kingdom
place?
of Kaelwyn. Sorry, the Kingdom of Kale. The Kaelwyn is the cultural people.
The druids from Kael we spoke to seemed potentially open to aiding you in combating the blight if you're willing to put aside the history between your people.
He says he is certainly open to the idea, but as it stands, he has heard they have yet to come forward with any offers.
I believe our current plan is to head north to Dunwich. Nyulrin, do I have that right?
Yes.
At the end of the long, and he's on the far end of the table.
Right. Well, since we'll be in the north anyways, we may be able to head up to Kale and try and make contact with the druids.
He says he says he trusts all of your discretion in this. You do have his authority to investigate these various phenomenons, and so it is. Yeah, you do. He did give you the authority of the royal investigator, so you have all authority to do as you need to uncover the truth of these various outbreaks and situations.
Right. We've already told him about, like, the Underdark druids and whatnot.
Yeah.
Right. Ahran will... Do we have your authority, then, to negotiate with the ruling families or council or whoever rules Kale?
He says, in the name of bringing end to this plague before it spreads even further, yes. Though he
Right.
does warn that The Kaelwyn are... There is much bad blood between our two peoples. I believe that they have no interest in seeing this plague spread further, though I have reason. I would suspect that is more to do with fear of it reaching their own lands rather than any sense of shared responsibility. And as such, be careful. Whatever they offer for their assistance may be a... Well, it may not be a noble deal.
I see. Well,
What was
where?
that
Hold on.
noise?
Where? Me sighing. Where was the plague? The refugees coming from?
The city of Malsborough. The plague,
Malsborough,
yeah,
right?
you have parts of his reports indicate that the plagues reports of blight have spread past the original reported lands. So the red areas are reported that have reported blight. And I'm just gonna
Wonderful.
update this. Now, this doesn't indicate severity of the outbreak. This simply
Just-
indicates regions where
Right.
it's at.
Originally, our plan was to march north, but perhaps it may prove more wise to charter a ship. Dunwich is on the river there, yes? And it should be easy to reach by boat?
The river is downstream. Well, sorry. It's a shallow river. While the Northmen might be able to navigate it with their long ships, the boats of the notes of the
Right.
Brythanians are too heavy to navigate those shallow rivers.
So we would have to...
Yeah, likely
We could
disembark at Winestead.
Right. Alright. That would probably be quicker anyways.
It would definitely be a little bit would be faster. Though it does though it would certainly be faster and all around safer. Though it does come at a cost. There are sorry. Essentially the cost is preventing you an opportunity to potentially further investigate the plague, while he understands that, safety is kind of paramount and rather overcautious than under.
My thought was that we have a rough idea of what is causing the plague, and we understand and we know who can aid us in dealing with it. But I can understand your Majesty's desire to deal with this issue internally rather than rely on foreign aid.
I am not so prideful as to turn down aid when it is offered.
Are there any druid circles within your land that owe fealty to you, or at least you have positive relations with?
There are some, and there are some druids there are druids who inhabit the kingdom of Brythane. Many of them are already working against the blight, but so far from what I've learned from them, they can offer little for how to contain it, or rather how to counteract it, as the Kaelwyns were able.
I see. Right. And that is more or less the status of the plague. What of the Northmen ratings?
He says the rates of the raids have begun to. Sorry. The Northmen raids have begun to decline. They seem but have, at least within the Kingdom of Brethane, they have struck many of the vulnerable targets and what's the word for church that's like a small
Chapel?
compound. No, it's like a small compound.
Monastery?
Yeah, I think there's a different term for it. The Vikings burnt shitloads of them.
Temple.
I'm 90% I'm 90% sure it's monastery is what the word.
It was like hang on. There was a specific term for it. It was hang on.
I've always heard what the Vikings raided described as monasteries.
Oh yeah, no, it is monastery. Yeah, they've raided many of the monasteries and small villages on the coast. Perhaps they have determined that the only targets remaining are those that would be able to actually put up a fight, and have since moved their attention elsewhere across the Leighton Bay. To that effect, their raids have decreased, at least in most areas. We have noted that there do appear to be a sizable group of Northmen remaining near Dunwich. Though what, if any, connection this has to the reports of were creatures, we are unfortunately ignorant.
Jakar, you're a sailor.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
Have you
sorry,
had
my
any?
stomach just twisted up here back.
Oh,
Oh.
never mind then. Y'all need to get involved in talking. Come on, I swear, when he spoke, I waited for one of you to say something, and none of you spoke up.
I'm not here.
I
Neither
know
am
you
I.
have. You two are fine. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you, Max, and you, Neil.
I don't know if there's anything I can really say or add.
Just say whatever comes to your mind. Just improvise. Ask questions.
Where's the cheese?
Come on, DMs love it when you ask them lore questions.
Unless they're unprepared for a certain question.
Okay. I mean, even then, it's like, oh, sweet, I have to think about that now. I didn't think of that before. Neat. I wish my players would ask me lore questions. Never happens.
The mileage between Lancaster and Winstead.
That is actually a good question. How far is it? How long would we have to sail? How long would we have to march? Good question.
Yeah, would it be faster to sail or march?
I mean, he said it would be faster and safer to sail, but we wouldn't be able to investigate the blight.
Looking at this map, I can say I've confidently forgotten what all of these markings mean.
The white X's, I'm pretty sure, are known Underdark passageways. The red circles are areas that have reports of the blight, and that purple circle, I think, is where a city just fucking vanished.
Yeah, well, that one seems like it took care of itself.
full of people. The gang's got a fucking responsibility to look into that.
We likely
That
won't
sounds
have
like an
time.
international issue.
We likely won't have time to visit every spot, so we should pick and choose based on priority.
That's why I'm thinking. I want to head north to try and negotiate with the Kaelin. And since Dunwich is on the way,
Stop in Dunwich to get a sandwich.
Or Dunwich.
Dunwich. Especially if the Northman raids have been increasing in the area of Dunwich. Are you back, Senate?
Yes, I am back. Sorry about that.
All right. To ask my question, then, Jakar, you're an experienced sailor. Have you ever noticed any correlation between Northmen and were creatures?
So this will be out of character to Senate, but I would assume that it is way too far for the Northmen to remotely bother going anywhere near the Palayan Isles.
They get around.
Really?
I mean, for just some historical reference, real quick, the Vikings raided Egypt. So
Well,
they get
the
around.
Viking. I'm sorry. I just imagine this Viking running off the ship wearing a Hawaiian T-shirt and shorts, waving his axe around as as a scared Egyptian runs from him.
Groups of Vikings doing the fucking Egyptian walk in front of the pyramids.
Good lord.
But yeah, there's recordings of there's some writing that's found in Egypt, Viking runes that can be found in Egypt. Though it wasn't it's not believed to have been from a raid. It's believed to have been from some Norse mercenaries who were probably hired by the Byzantines. But regardless, there's some Norse runes that are carved in the very top of some ancient Egyptian temple, and it reads, "This is very high."
Oh, that's where the "this is very high" runes are. I didn't know they were in fucking Egypt.
Yeah. Humans really haven't changed. We just have more technology.
No, we haven't.
But yeah, to that end, the Northmen sail pretty much everywhere. Not all of them are raiders, but they get around. And the Palayan Islands are certainly not outside their striking range.
Okay, so then I suppose that would then lead to yet another out of character question, because I as a player wouldn't know, but I'm sure him as the character would.
Yeah, I won't make you roll for it. I'll say you can roll history generally speaking, but I will say in your experience, Northmen, there's lots of Wolfkin who sail with the Northmen, as they make up half of the population of that region. But that's not those aren't werewolves. Those are Tabaxi. That's a race that takes the appearance of that. Sorry.
The canine equivalent.
Yeah, canine equivalent of Tabaxi. So, with a 16 in history, there's known to be a decent population of were creatures in the north, but that's more due to it being a very wild, expansive region where hide. It's not that there's any direct cultural tie to were creatures. So it wouldn't be at all it wouldn't at all be it would not be a surprise if the were creatures were in some ways connected to the north.
Okay. So,
But it wouldn't be a surprise, but it's not like they have direct.
okay. So, not a direct link. There are wolfkin among them, but were creatures among them? Sometimes. I can't think of a time that I've seen any personally, but I wouldn't be surprised if were creatures are fairly common among them.
Could be, I don't know, some were creature, crew or captain or something, causing havoc in those lands, but definitely worth investigating. There's an idea. Sorry. Say something.
Yeah. Theodore ultimately just kind of leans forward as he just says, "There's no point in theorizing here and now. In truth, the main reason I called this meeting is that, well, when last you were in the city, I had told you that my spy master had been killed and his records burned. I was kept largely in the dark of what was transpiring across, well, all of the kingdom. And as reports have finally made their way to me, things are not going well. Not merely here, but across all of the Empire." He pauses for a moment as he just says, "There have been increasing reports of fiend attacks across the whole of the bay." One moment. Yeah, there have been increasing reports of fiend attacks all across the Laeton Bay. Cities and villages being abducted by demonic creatures. It is the reports I read are grim. Reportedly, the High Speaker in Saint Manor has been assassinated when he tried to call the faithful to arms. I'm not gonna make anyone here roll to know who the High Speaker is. That's basically the Pope of the Imperial Church.
Right.
And though for you specifically, Niall, though Nyulrin may worship predominantly Aegon, the High Speaker is still considered a saintly figure. Well, not a saint himself, but rather that is still a very highly important position.
I was going to say, the High Speaker is basically for all the Empire's gods, and that includes Aegon.
Yeah. You hear now? Oh.
Apparently not.
Niall?
Nihil.
Nihil! 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 Huh.
Let's hope his electricity didn't die.
I mean, it shows him still in the chat.
Did he say anything?
No.
Okay.
Didn't post
I
anything.
guess, yeah, alright. I will keep going through his list of news updates. Because there's a good little bit to get through real quick.
All right.
Alright. So yes, fiend attacks, which I'm sure you can guess who's responsible for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There have been there have been numerous attacks by demons and fiends all across the Empire. Several major cities have been reported to be under attack. And notably, the city of Verstein has been invaded and occupied by an army that swears its fealty to Dagos Amansul. And from the city of Verstein, which is from here, armies of fiends have been marching out and attacking neighboring kingdoms.
Wait, where's Verstein?
Bottom right. It's not fully on the map,
Oh, I see.
but you can see its corner.
Right. Niall, are you back? Oh, guess not. I thought that's what that noise was.
That was probably me.
Ah.
Yeah. The city of Verstein has fallen to Dagos Amansul, and it is not the only city to have befallen similar fate. One moment. I'm you all to the world, because that's where things are fun. So yeah, here's Verstein itself.
Right.
Yeah, Verstein has fallen to Dagos. I'm going to mark it with a green X. The city, the Athene itself is under siege. The city
Hold on,
of
is that the
Rufia.
capital?
No, that's Corinthi.
Okay.
Oh yes, that Corinthi is the capital. Athene is the capital of the Athenian republics. That is a very notable loss, by the way. So
yeah.
the wood elves are reporting attacks have reported attacks at Kalnoon and Ilone, but both were successfully repelled. As
When
well,
a tree
there's
starts speaking Elvish.
yeah, the tree started speaking Elvish. The city of Mistral was also attacked. That is 4 major cities on the continent which are currently under occupation by Dagos Amansul.
Yeah.
And there is reports of a repelled attack at Olrenri.
What has the Emperor's response been, if anything?
The Legion has been deployed across the Empire to attempt to counter it. In fact, we have reports that the 12th Legion is on its way here to reinforce us in the bay.
Oh, that's good.
Nyulrin, go ahead and roll me history.
I
Fuck!
still think he's
Fuck!
still gone. Yeah, he ain't back yet. I'm gonna add him in Discord.
Yeah, this is. Oh, he just went yellow.
Yeah.
I think his power may have died, or he fell asleep.
That's...
Or something.
Yeah, something happened.
Yeah.
Have Jakar roll instead.
What?
Have Jakar roll instead.
Yeah, Jakar might, but it's for. Unfortunately, it would be for very different reasons. All right.
25.
The 12th Legion is
Skill monkey.
a particularly famous legion. They are routinely known as some of the Empire's most elite. Despite being the 12th Legion, they were at one point in their history, they were made up predominantly of basically cannon fodder and penal units, which were all grouped together and sent on suicide missions where they were highly disposable. But over time, the 12th Legion proved itself so admirably, it became one of the most renowned legions in all of the Empire.
And they're being sent to Brithane.
Well, the
Not
Laeton
that I-
Bay as a whole.
Ah, the Laeton Bay as a whole. Okay. That makes sense. I was going to say they're being specifically sent to Brithain. That seems weird. Okay, but the Leotin Bay as a whole, that does make sense.
Speaking of elsewhere in the Leotin Bay, there is reports at the Kingdom of Behorus that a massive goblin army has descended, a massive goblin horde, reports at nearly 10,000 strong, at one counting, have descended upon the kingdom.
Man, they're gonna get goblinated.
And finally, the dwarven capital of Dinhuram is currently under siege by the Dwagon. Here.
Rum. Under their ancestral foe.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oh, sorry. There is one more thing. The nobles of Maria have entered a state of active civil war in response to who will become the current elector count. Essentially, the Kingdom of Maria has, as Theodore would explain, there are 3 predominant noble families within the kingdom, and the 3 undergo an election process to decide who it serves as the active ruler. Typically, it's a peaceful process as it transfers. Essentially, it's a rotating kingship. Every few years, the same noble family cannot rule for 2 consecutive terms.
Right.
But recently, he says the details of exactly what is going on vague at best, but it sounds like the noble family. Now, should be noted, I had this noble family before Niall actually joined the D&D. The ruling family, the Niall. The ruling family, the Niles, have reportedly refused to step down, and that has triggered a conflict within the region.
And it's not just the other 2 noble houses beating House Niall shit in.
He says that is what should typically happen, but for whatever reason, it sounds like there was some issue. There was some prevailing tension between the other 2 noble houses that had erupted into a bit of loose conflict when the Niall's term reached its end.
And they just said, we're staying in charge.
Precisely. And thus, now it is a 3-way civil war. So, things are happening, and they're not particularly good.
Great.
There is one final thing I would like to note. As you all had headed south, King Theodore did send scouts to Dunwich to try and get more information on exactly what transpired there. He reports that Lancel was put in charge of the team sent there. By now, if all has gone well, he should be at the city He doesn't expect him. Maybe he might encounter him on the road, but if things are particularly bad, he may still be there and need assistance.
All right. What was the name of our vampire friend?
Lucan.
Lucan. Any word from Lucan's order?
He says I don't think he spoke to him.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, but we did report about Lucan and his
Oh,
order.
yeah. Okay, you would have told him about it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying
he
we would have told the king, yeah, like, hey,
Yeah.
the order of
He's-
whatever is
the
here.
order of House Ravencroft. As he says, he's hasn't heard anything about them, which is simultaneously good and bad.
Right. Well, he said he was heading up to Dunwich, so perhaps we'll run into him and or other agents of his order there. Hmm.
Oh, hang on, Niall. Are you here? Are you back? No. Okay. He went from Do Not Disturb. Now he's green again.
He's on his phone by the looks of things.
Yeah, something's. I'll be right back. I need to use the bathroom. I'm sorry. I had McDonald's for lunch and I had steak for dinner, and it's not sitting well.
Should we have should we call a break right here?
Yeah, I'll say that's all the king. I'm just gonna re-summarize everything that the king brought up, and you guys can take the information as you see fit. Essentially,
You need to have more roughage in your food, man.
yeah. Essentially, the plague is continuing to spread. Refugees are fleeing everywhere. Recently, the plague has reached the city of Mars.
Martirolo.
It's reached the. Thank you. It's reached the borough.
The name. Marlsborough.
Thank you, Marlsborough. Marlsborough.
I named a completely
Yes, it
different
has reached
city.
the city of Marlsborough. There's reports of cult activity across the country. Reinforcements of the 12th Legion are on their way. He has sent men to Dunwich to determine its status, and those men are led by Nightland Cell. If there are fiend attacks across the bay and across all of the Empire. The High Speaker has been assassinated. There are reports of a civil war in the neighboring kingdom of Maria. Beharus is fighting a massive goblin invasion. The city of Verstein was invaded by Dagos Sul and is currently occupied and serving as a staging ground for invasions across all of the Empire, alongside several other major cities. And the dwarves of Dinwuram are under siege by the Dwagon.
Fantabulous. The world's on fire.
How about yours?
Not at the moment. Anyways, yeah, you go use the washroom. I'll take the opportunity to as well. And we'll reconvene in just a moment. Hello. Taking notes, Slinger?
No, I'm eating chicken.
Oh,
Yeah, unfortunately,
Fair enough.
unfortunately, the one thing, the way I usually play is I don't take notes unless my character's there.
I mean, we're gonna tell Dirk everything we were told him. Literally, just to say, Ahran catches Dirk up on everything that we went over in the meeting.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I've taken some notes, but not everything.
Well, I've been having to deal with stuff outside of the game, so unfortunately, I've been a bit distracted.
No worries. Is that why you said your character wasn't there?
No, that was other stuff. That was also mostly because in character, Dirk just does not like meetings, royalty, politics.
Come on, the king here is pretty. He's young, but he's pretty cool.
True. He still doesn't like royalty.
Fair enough.
To be fair, Faylee decided to clean instead of go see the king.
I swear, I swear, in the future, I'm just gonna have to fucking play the charismatic talky types because I'm the one who keeps talking. None of y'all want to talk, so I'm just like, all right.
I'll talk when I'm there.
I don't know why. For some reason, I have just glazed over like everything so far.
Oh, that's how I was last session.
I am running on about 5 hours of sleep, but even so,
That'll do it.
I mean, when I go, I'll try to add stuff. I can't promise anything.
Yeah, no. You have yourself some coffee or anything with.
I just drank a 270 milligrams of caffeine energy drink, but I still just
You'll need a second or two to kick in, that probably. But I do get what you mean. Yeah, no.
It's not just the tiredness or anything too. It's just like I don't know really what to add or say or anything. It's just like, oh, kingdom politics, yay.
You don't have to say anything of consequence. Just like you can say a snarky comment if you want. like
be
like
snarky.
absolutely. Yeah. Well, I mean, you're important enough. Where we've been basically made the king's go-to guys for solving this, so you can absolutely snark off if you want to.
Does Nile come back yet?
Nile he hasn't said anything if he is back yet.
Is he muted? What's going on? This is weird.
He's on his phone.
I'm gonna voice call him real quick.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably try that. That was nice of him.
Weird, right? Like
Any?
It's not like him to
Say
vanish
again?
without. It's weird. It's not like him to vanish without a word.
Yeah, that is a little odd.
Be one thing if he like suddenly disappeared, because then his power is always kind of a little weird.
Yeah, but he's apparently there.
I'm gonna disconnect him and see if he rejoins. Well, is everyone back, or do people still need some time? Nice. All right. Sorry for the slower session, but
Right.
let's try kicking it up another notch in the part of. I'll be honest. Part of was kind of hoping Niall would be here because I feel like he probably would have had two. There were two kind of important reactions I was half expecting. The knowledge that Pope was just murdered would have
Yeah,
probably triggered
I was
some
going
kind
to-
of it.
I was gonna comment to him. Do you have who would you say would be a good replacement for the Pope?
Yeah. But that's a little awkward. But yeah,
Yeah.
with all that in mind, that is all there is for now from the king. Just a general update on the wider situation, and leaving it to you all to handle it as he sees fit. He does report that many priests of Motessa are making their way to. Many priests and holy people are making their way to the plague land, the blight lands, to try and counteract its spread to varying degrees of success.
Right. Well,
I know.
my personal thought is that if we take a ship up to Weinstead, and then perhaps ride on to Dunwich, we can arrive there rapidly, and then continue on to Kale and speak with their leaders and secure their aid and get their assistance in dealing with the plague as soon as possible.
He leaves it to your discretion. And with that, he says he has no further business for you. If you need to charter a ship, he can see that it is he can scrounge up enough coin to have it be covered for you.
He doesn't have like a Royal Navy or something?
Actually, yeah, no, he can charter one of his ships to sail for you.
Sweet. All right. Right then. I'll confer with our fellows once we've given them the word, your news, Your Majesty. In the meantime, do you have any? One thing I might ask of you. You said your spy master's notes and records were more or less burned, but do you know of anyone who worked under him who survived?
He says no. When his uncle's coup occurred, it seemed highly targeted to effectively decapitate the royal
Intelligence
kingdom.
service.
Things are pretty.
Alrighty.
A lot of things are having
Well-
to be rebuilt from pretty much scratch.
Well, no Cheyenne cell is complete without a few contingencies. So, would you mind if I were to look over your spy master's old personal quarters? There may be something that the Duke's men or your own may have missed.
He says he is. He would be willing to permit it.
All right.
Yeah, slightly.
My creed has their own has secrets. It's kind of our thing, Your Majesty.
Oh no, it was Dirk who said that was slightly insulting. I was just playing along with a bit.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Ahran, if that's all, unless Niall is to suddenly return. Damn it! I was hoping that would work. All right. Well, Jakar, do you have any questions?
Not off the top of my head.
All right. With that in mind, then I suppose we should probably get on with the things we got to do today. Find any survivors of the Order 66 that happened here to the Shayans.
Alrighty. Well, with that, wherever you go next is up to all of you. Meanwhile, Dirk, your day has been filled with far less stress than the others have been dealing with. They've been dealing with the existential dread of the world basically falling apart. Meanwhile, you're currently in a grocery, just comparing two decently weighted watermelons. They're you're kind of admiring the fruit.
Admiring the melons, I see.
Fuck you. But yes.
Dirk will just pass up on it. Looking more for hold on, my mouth is burning. That chicken was too spicy. Anyway, looking for more for meats, seasonings, and some vegetables. Not so much the fruits. Hello?
Well, there is plenty to pick from. The store, you're able to find a wide array of meats to choose from. Things such as lots of lamb, lots of beef, lots of pork and chicken.
For the sake of simplicity, can I just spend 31 gold pieces on just a whole grocery cart?
That's a fair
Mostly
bit
because-
higher than that.
It's costly,
Was
but mostly
expecting.
because ribs and whole cuts of meat.
That is fair. Yeah, I'll say you're able to stockpile a very, very generous supply of delicious, choice cut meat.
Also, what else does our little estate have for the sake of cooking? Is it just a basic ass kitchen?
Yeah, there is also a basically somewhat more something more akin to a modern oven that would be with like produce flame for cooking, similar to how you have an ice box in your.
Right. We have a magic refrigerator and a magic oven.
Why do we have a map
Yeah.
on top of a map?
Because I did some small scale updates to this map, but I forgot the other thing I was wanting to do. God damn it! Ignore
Alrighty.
me. I am sometimes very dumb.
How much would a smoker be to get applied to the estate?
Well,
Dirk truly is becoming a dad.
I would say you could get a decent smoker for probably like, I don't know. You more or less just need a campfire.
No, I want
So-
a proper smoker.
Well, no, I meant like as far as what form that's likely going to take. So yeah, I'd say it's probably like 15 gold for a high quality one.
$15 gold. Oh, so there's no music.
What?
There's no music.
Yes, there is.
I'm not hearing it.
You gotta watch together.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I accidentally closed the page with it. Oops.
You're gonna tell me it doesn't exist?
It doesn't. It's just you're the one who's thinking things.
Stop gaslighting the GM.
Oh my god.
What? No. Yes.
Oh, please tell me that's an actual thing.
What?
What?
Alright, hold on. Copy. So I found a way to make rations on the road.
Oh.
Oh, fucking portable ass smokehouse.
What?
Look in Detroit.
Holy shit, that's amazing.
How
Yeah,
much
I
for
would
that?
I would say 20 gold for that.
Oh, fuck yes. No, I just need a mule.
You have a wagon.
That's true. Just hook that up to like the side of the wagon.
Am I the only one who's getting like actually kind of nervous about what happened to?
I did check the news to see if like Georgia exploded or something, and I haven't heard anything. So I assume there's been like nothing seriously bad has happened, but I could be wrong.
By the way, take
It's
a look. I made the arboretum a proper item on the map.
Nice.
Ooh, nice.
You've also covered the marks.
Uh-oh. Most of those weren't needed anymore.
Hmm.
There is the blacksmithy here and your estate, which is, I believe it was here.
Look for the singular red building in this entire city of blue. Alright, well, Dirk will, without thinking of much else to get, with like a whole cart, like a wagon of groceries and 2 new smokers, it's just going to start making his way back to the estate to get things installed and stored.
You draw quite a few eyes as you pull the wagons through. One of the storekeeper asks, "What are you cooking? What do you need 2 of them?"
One's for home, one's for good on the go.
He just says he kind of like just says, "I guess that makes some amount of sense." He looks to you as he looks to the left, looks to the right, and just says, "You want to hear some pro advice?"
Go on.
Fire salts. Though it cooks the meat up better than anything. It gets the meat perfectly perfect. It gets it just. I don't know how to describe it, but it gives it this just natural spice in meat. A little expensive, but if you're looking for that extra kick,
Do you
can't go
have
wrong.
any?
He reaches down or under the counter and pulls up a small, like, ceramic jar. As he kind of twists off the cap and kind of very cautiously lifts it and kind of points it towards you, you can see a whole bunch of small, like, very fine, glowing orange powder that just kind of you can see like heat radiating off of it.
Ooh. How much?
He seals it as he just says, "All right." He says, 10 gold for the jar."
Done.
He does say, "Have you ever used them before?"
Mm-mm.
All right.
Actually, would I have?
Probably not.
Okay.
He just says, "Fire salts are fairly dangerous, so keep them out of anywhere close to an exposed flame. in their current state, he he puts his hand into the jar and kind of like pinches out a little bit of it, though it looks like it's scalding hot. It's just a bit of an optical illusion. He sprinkles it back in. Now, when they actually get exposed to open flame, however, he very kind of carefully picks up like just a few grains and moves it over to a nearby candle and lets like one or two kind of sprinkle off of his fingers, and immediately the candle kind of billows out about 3, 4, maybe 5 times as big as it was before. Just like
Get some real heat
and you know, yeah, and you notice that the candle itself, the color of the flame has changed just slightly. It now looks more like, it's now, instead of like the soft yellow it was before, it's now an almost orangish red. If you hadn't seen what it looked like before, you probably wouldn't really notice. But since you saw the change happen in real time, you can distinctly tell that the flame is somewhat charged.
Nice.
So yeah, he says. So yeah, put a. He says a teaspoonful of this splattered into the smoker will make the flames burn brighter and hotter, and the flames will resonate with the energies of the fire salts, and those energies will saturate whatever you're cooking.
I see. Okay.
He does say, like, again, be careful. They are pretty flammable, but it's not gonna blow up your kitchen or your house or anything. But if you're not careful, it could definitely burn it down.
Understood.
Yeah, just fair warning.
Well, thank you. I will definitely find some uses for this.
He nods. I'll say you have about like a salt shaker's worth of the stuff.
Alright.
It's not too much, but it's enough.
I also wanted to ask, because I'm not finding any information, but how much meat in pound-wise can the portable smoker hold, would you say? Because I'm not finding any fucking information.
I'd say, how much is a average pound of ribs?
Depends on the ribs.
Okay, I'm hearing that a full set of cow ribs usually are like 5 to 6 pounds. So I'll say that this can do probably like 10 to 15 pounds of meat.
Nice.
Maybe, probably, 10 to 15 is about accurate. So that's probably a rack or two, probably 2 racks of ribs and some additional, like, smaller morsels.
Nice. Oh, also, just to make sure, because I think I forgot to remove them from my inventory, I sold the black basalt shards and tablets, correct?
Correct.
Okay, they're still in my inventory.
Yeah, I believe they're currently being transcribed or examined by the Arboretum.
So I sold them, or?
Yeah. I think wait, no.
Because I remember doing something with them.
I don't know. I can't remember if you sold them or you gave them to be transcribed.
He sold them. He did sell them.
Yeah,
They were
okay.
like, "Oh, we're really interested in what these are."
Right.
Alright, making sure, because they were still in my inventory. I just got rid of them. Alright, and with that, unless there's someone else advertising some fancy cookware or spices to me, I'll start making my way back to the estate to install the smoker.
Nice. Meanwhile, back at the estate, Faylee, you have been cleaning like your life depends on it. The building itself is awash in. It has been systematically cleaned over from top to bottom, and still there's much work to be done. You said you were wanting to use prestidigitation to help achieve this?
Since it's a foot of cleaning, with only a 6-second cast, so.
Honestly, feels like it might, time-wise, I'd say, yeah, it can help.
I mean, for stuff like launder your dish towels or dishes, it would be better.
True. But yeah, for like general sweeping,
Probably not.
yeah. I'll say you've gotten the main areas on the main floor cleaned up. A lot of the dust is now outside, and some of the passerbys are probably not particularly happy with you, but the air is much less stale. You've gotten the lights working, and the whole place just feels better now.
Well, that's good at least. Now the home base is starting to feel more like a base.
Indeed. It's around 3 when you would see Dirk kind of waddle his way into the inner courtyard, bringing with him a pair of large wooden smokers.
There's one that seems more that's on wheels, and then there's the other one that seems to need to be put together, like an IKEA kit.
What is all this, Dirk?
Smokers. One we can attach to the wagon, smoke some meat on the go. The other one's for here.
That actually sounds quite lovely. We could make use of that for dinner tonight.
There's like a big,
I will say, if you're wanting to have everything smoked up, you'll probably need to start it sooner rather than later.
Oh yeah, I know how long the smoking process takes.
Well, I mean, one of them's already built, so.
Yep. So yeah, Dirk will deposit all the foods into the storage and larder, and then begin work on the smoker.
Okay.
Construction happens to be a thing that Faylee does not know, so.
Bailey, I
I'm
need
not
you
going to be
here.
much use.
You are going to be much use to me. Read the instructions.
I guess I could do that.
Fortunately, there do seem to be a few
Dirk
pictures.
can't read.
There are pictures, but not. But there's also written instructions alongside them. All right. This will take a while to put together. I'm not going to make you guys roll anything, but it's taking up a good chunk of your day. Jakar.
Take anywhere from 30 minutes to the rest of the week.
It's that Homer Simpson. Like, Dirk looks to the right at the mobile one. Man, that's a fine-looking smoker. Looks left. Why doesn't mine look like that? Meanwhile, Ahran and Jakar, you have emerged from the inner keep.
Do you have anything to do in the city, Jakar?
Not that I can think of. I usually pride myself on staying self-sufficient, so.
Right. Well, I might have, if you'd be willing to assist, I might have I might be able to make some good use of you in trying to track down any survivors of whatever purges the Duke enacted upon the Anishayan support network that might remain in the city.
I certainly wouldn't mind trying to assist with that.
Alright then. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that is what Ahran is going to get up to, and he's confident that with Jakar's help, he should have a relatively easy time of things.
Okay. All right. I am going to say everyone appears to be working on tasks which are going to take several hours or extended periods of time. So let's move forward. All right. Faley and Dirk. Your efforts to assemble the smoker take a decent little while to get everything in order, but when you finally do, it looks pretty good. Maybe not perfect, but the instructions were fairly clear that even you two could get it working.
Is this upside down?
Get it working and building it right is two very different things.
This is upside down.
I feel like some part of this is upside down.
So, Dirk, what's this extra bag of parts for?
There's an extra bag.
Faley just hands over like a complete bag of just random assortments of parts.
So yeah, it's taken you probably an hour and some change to get the thing mostly put together.
Right. I think this is good. Now it's time to get some food in here. Yeah, I'll just put some, I suppose some ribs that I bought in there.
You slap them on the smoker.
Yep.
Would you like to use your fire salts?
Fuck yes.
All right, I'm going to roll something real quick, but
Oh God.
All right. You kind of are a little conservative with it. You know, you put a few in, you judge the flame as it billows. Even then, you see it go a little higher than you would have originally thought, but it calms down, and boy, it's seeming pretty good.
Thank God the entire wooden smoker didn't just catch the flame.
But yeah, everything seems to be working out pretty well. Well, I think how smokers work, it's like the flame is kept inside,
Oh yeah.
like burning, like wet logs or something. I don't know how it worked back in medieval days. I'm not going to pretend to know.
I don't either. Magic.
Yes.
Precisely. But yeah, soon enough, it begins its work. It'll probably be a couple hours. So what will you do in the meantime? You finished. I'm assuming you'll do like other kitchen prep, but that's probably much closer to the actual serving time than right now.
Pretty much. Just keep, I suppose, work on the kitchen, make sure everything is where I want it to be. Yeah, just all around all that stuff. Because I don't know, I don't have any other needs or wants at the moment.
Bailey will probably get to working in the garden a bit to make it look like presentable.
Does this place actually look clean? Looks in my room. At least you didn't touch my room.
Specifically swept all the dust into Dirk's room.
Motherfucker!
But yeah, as you begin, you all. So wait, did you say you were helping with the cleaning, Dirk?
No, I'm just setting up the kitchen. Essentially setting up the kitchen to how I want it. Where placing things where I'm going to easily find them. Yada yada.
Yeah, so
Makes
basically
sense.
Faley set up the kitchen, he's resetting it up.
Yeah. Everything, Dirk. You put things where you want them, where you'll have access to them, and give yourselves a bit of a flow to the space. That all works out pretty well. Soon enough, you'd be able to start getting to work on the on the entrees and supporting dishes. And Faley, after a long, hard days of work, you're finally at the point of exhaustion where you need to where you're going to call it for the night. Meanwhile, sorry, go ahead.
I don't know. Meanwhile,
Okay. Meanwhile, with Ahran and Jakar, the two of you, I'm going to need you both to provide me a investigation check separate.
Alrighty, can I have guidance can I use guidance on this?
Go ahead.
And investigation. Yeah, no, I definitely need that guidance. Alright, so 12.
Okay, that is above the threshold. Alrighty. The two of you have been searching throughout the city for most of the day. It doesn't take you... It takes you about an hour or two before you find the first shadow mark. A sort of calligraphy that the Shayans use to communicate. Though you do not know exactly what this one says, as many of the different sects all use their own trappings and styles. You know, don't want to expose the whole network if one gets compromised.
Of course.
But you recognize it well enough that you determine that it is a shadow sign. And judging and investigating a little further, about 10-15 minutes later, you find another one, confirming, and this one is a different sign. This confirms that there is a Shayan presence in the city. Now, one more thing you would note, this is to Ahran, I'm not going to make you roll for things about your own religion. Shadow signs are routinely, they're usually just little etchings, no bigger than what would be, say, a quarter or maybe a silver dollar. You know, small, easy to move.
Right.
And they are routinely carved and then carved over within the span of every month or so. Given that it's been several weeks since you were last here, that confirms to you that there is a Saiyan sect in the city, and it is still active. These signs appear to have been recently etched.
Carved. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's
So
good.
you are on the right track.
Alrighty then. Now the tricky bit is just finding them.
That will be predominantly through, the best way you can do it at this point is find as many of the shadow signs as you can, use context clues to determine their origin, and from there, use those to guide your way to the temple or chapel or guide you. Yeah, to the
Wherever the cell's hiding out.
Location.
yeah, exactly. There is a
Alright.
universal. While the design of the symbols will change, there is a universal code. Basically, there are a series of signs. Ones that indicate danger, one that indicates allies, one that indicates etc. etc. So you can use
Right.
context clues to kind of piece together what each symbol might represent.
Right. Makes sense. Are we able to make contact with the local cell, or no? Then.
I'm going to need you all to, with a 30, I will let you all roll again. This is, that was simply if you could uncover the leads, because you have a whole ass city to search.
Yeah. Alright. Investigation. You know what? I'm gonna see if I have any spells I can. Yeah, just guidance is really all I can do. Alright. Investigation. God damn. Consistently shit. Let's see.
Well.
1d4. Hey, that's 13.
That one-
Slightly better.
And the cumulative total goal was for 30.
Jesus.
Perfect.
So, the two of you combined were able to achieve the score. With that,
Lovely.
while you have been searching, part of it is also, sorry, how do I English is being awkward for me. Sorry. As you are searching, eventually, as you are making your way, you're making your way down the street, and as you both are moving, you're kind of following a recent pair of signs, which you do seem to be directional markings of some kind. You don't know if these could be leading to the sex base, or it could be leading to a safe house. But you are able to determine that they are directional. They're leading you to something.
All right.
And when you arrive, you see the markings lead to sorry. You arrive at a blank brick wall, hidden within an alleyway. And on the very side of the wall, you kind of peer around it, and you do find another shadow. This one, however, bears a strong resemblance to the calligraphy you're familiar with for the symbol of safe house. It's a little different, but evidently, when they made these codes, they kept it, at least this symbol, fairly simple, or simpler rather.
Right. Similar to the sect that Ahrens used to operating with. Perfect. And this symbol is on this blank brick wall, right?
Correct.
So presumably there is a secret passageway somewhere around here. The classic would be a brick somewhere to be pushed.
I'm gonna feel around it.
Yep, Aaron will give it the brick wall a feel over.
Your hand kind of traces along its edifice, kind of sliding through the slits of the mortar, and eventually you kind of stop on one of the bricks, noticing a slight seam that disconnects it from the mortar. Very carefully, you press 2 fingers against it, and the brick slides back, further into the wall, and there is a soft mechanical click. Nearby, a small section of the wall kind of very quietly slides back, revealing a small tunnel. Well, not so much tunnel, but like a small entrance. You'll have to, all fours enter.
All right, Ahran will nod at Jahar. Of course, I assume you won't be telling anyone about this.
Lips are sealed.
Thank you. And Ahran will head in, gesturing for Jakar to follow.
We'll follow.
Stepping inside, you all would immediately. It appears to be a small. The safe house itself appears to be a small. It appears to be a small sealed-in room, with the main entrances to it being kind of blocked up and boarded up. If you were to hazard a guess, the building this room is attached to appears to be a civilian residential house. It's likely they don't even realize that a Saiyan safe house is within their own walls.
Right.
Hidden in plain sight. The room itself is fairly unremarkable. Some bedding, some fresh food and clothing, as well as a shrine to the goddess of shadow. Its purpose. It is a simple safe house.
Well, if the food and bedding is fresh, that means someone's been here recently.
And as you say that, you hear a voice just say, "Most astute." Peering to your side, kind of nestled in the shadowy corner of the room, you would see a woman. Greetings, brother.
Greetings, sister. I am from... Ahran will give the name of his particular sect.
Welcome. I am Lasagna, at your service. She kind of bows her head forward.
I was going to say, you're going to type her name,
Lasagna. Yeah? I am Lasagna. Bowing her head forward, you see the light of a candle on the table flashes across her face as you can see the appearance of a half-elven woman with long blonde hair, kind of pulled back into a ponytail. Her attire is distinctly commoner. Like, if you saw... You may have seen her in the crowds 100 times and you would never have noticed her.
Right.
Nothing particularly stands out about her. And that's very
She's more
clearly,
of the master of disguise sort, right?
Yeah, there is nothing that stands out about her, and that's probably to the point.
I get you. Ahran will nod to her. I understand that your cell has suffered grievous losses in recent time.
Indeed, many of our indeed, we have suffered a series of losses, though not for the reason I believe you suspect.
Then the Duke's efforts to kill His Majesty's spy master and those who associate him were less successful than one might think.
She just says the Duke's efforts were successful to an extent. They are not what we have been concerned with. She kind of motions towards the table as she sits down. Her eyes kind of snap to Jakar, who would have finished crawling his way through as she just says, Is he one who can be trusted with the lady's secrets?
Ahran nods. He has served as a good companion and, I dare say, friend.
Very well. If he breaks the lady's trust, then you will bear the consequences, brother.
Ahran nods.
She just says that within the city, I know of only that within the city at the start of the year there were 15 servants of Shay within our sect. Today there are only 3 remaining. The Duke is only responsible for the death of 3.
Who is responsible for the death of the remainder?
She says, come now, I suspect you know. I suspect you have far better information in that regard than I would.
The psychic beings that we faced under the city, or would it be the druids?
She says, both are a symptom of a greater threat. Our world is sitting on a razor's edge a razor's edge of total collapse. I believe you know very well whom and what I speak of is responsible for these events.
Ahran's hand reaches to where he was stabbed. Dago Samasu. He growls almost.
Yeah. She says his machinations, correct in part. Though he is the ringleader, what has transpired within the Laeton Bay is the work of another. The goddess of chaos, Bathing's hand, has plagued these realms. She intends to incite chaos, revolt, and anarchy across the bay. She's already responsible for a civil war which has racked not her directly, but like when she says she's responsible.
Right, her agents.
Her agents. Yeah, are already responsible for a civil war which has which it spread throughout Maria. And as far from what they know, they have reason to believe that. Sorry, I'm spaced out for a second. Our agents are already responsible for a recent the civil war in Maria. Her cultists have been hounding us in the shadows. Fortunately, they have kept their identities and their secrets very well kept, even from our own eyes. A traitor in our midst exposed the identities of many of her lady's agents. And in an opening strike, dealt a blow to our set.
Did we have the name of this traitor?
You do not need to fret. Do not fret on. I saw 2 of them have a person. But I believe you encountered one of the victims of her betrayal.
What was his name? It's in my notes. I don't actually. I could have sworn I had
I know
his
you. Yeah,
name.
I know
No,
you
I don't
have it.
actually.
Well, either way, I know you know it. So yeah,
Yeah.
he
Or
had.
nods.
Yes,
Right.
he had. From what I've come to learn, he had discovered the treachery of those creatures, and was preparing to expose it. But the traitor and the servants of Bathy struck first. Though the attack on the castle of this city was the most obvious violence, it was not the only.
I see. Well, His Majesty is trustworthy.
He is a child.
So,
One who cannot be expected to act rationally in most instances.
he seems to have wisdom beyond his years, willing to cooperate with Kale to save his people.
She looks to that and just says, "It may be the only way he will save his kingdom. It is not merely Bathy whose hand has dwelt in these lands. I'm sure you've heard reports of the plague spreading."
Yes, I've heard it was tied to a cult native to the Underdark.
Yes. She says, "We have yet to discover the nature of this cult. But we know that they are the ones responsible for this plague. From what we have gathered, this is no mere pestilence. It is a divine curse."
Interesting. My intelligence indicates it is known as the Cult of the Bloodthorn.
Interesting. We have
This
heard
comes
that
from
name
those
as well.
same druids of. This comes from those same druids of Kale. They seem familiar with it.
Indeed. The Kaelin have proven historically quite difficult for our agents to infiltrate. And so I have no knowledge. I have no knowledge on what transpires within their lands. Well, sorry, within their innermost circles. But I do know that you spoke to them. Perhaps you may be the one to bring these secrets to Our Lady's attention.
That is the plan. Our intent is to make north for Dunwich, assess and hopefully deal with the outbreak of were creatures there, and then make our way to Kale to negotiate with their druids on behalf of the king.
She would nod as she says, "And do so. The lady has unleashed her ire upon Dagos and his servants. It is rare that she summons her people that she declares for war. But I suppose his machinations must be prevented."
Well, that is some good news, I suppose. Do you have any means of contacting other cells?
She does say that our communication is limited, but she has at least some contact with neighboring cells. She knows that the Nightingales strike against the cults. She pauses for a moment before looking to you as she says, "And there is more. I presume that you have been without access to. Sorry. I presume that you have not heard much news in your travels in regards to the sibling. So I'm struggling to figure out how to word it. I believe. Sorry. Am I correct in assuming your information on what has transpired amongst the faithful has been limited?
Quite. I ran into one of our number in the Palayan Isles. But beyond that, I have remained isolated.
She nods as you would see her just look you very sternly in the eye. Her gaze shifting towards Jakar and kind of narrowing. She looks to him. You sense that she is reluctant to say what comes next before his presence.
If my presence is concerning you, I can step out.
Thank you, Jagar. You must understand that it is not in our nature to surrender secrets easily.
They did say curiosity killed the cat, so maybe I should avoid curiosity for the time being. And I guess I can turn to step back out the way I came in.
She, as Jakar steps out, the passage door seals shut, as the wall suddenly flashes with a bit of purple magic that you previously hadn't noticed, but it appears to be a localized silence spell, likely how the grinding of brick and turning of gears was essentially made no sound whatsoever. And it also helps make sure that there is no sound escapes this quiet. She looks to you, Ahran, as she leans in and just says, the Vault of Secrets was right. The Vault of Secrets is basically the nickname for the throne / palace of Shay herself. It is where many of her ancient secrets are held, and to be shared only with those she has deemed the most worthy.
So basically, she's telling me someone's fucking stormed into Shay's personal domain and stole some shit.
Yes. The souls of over 24 night were stolen in this raid from the lady herself. In addition to much knowledge that was not to be known by any but the lady herself. This is why we have been called to war.
I can imagine.
I do not know what was taken from Our Lady, and it is not either of our place to know. But suffice to say, I believe you should now be properly motivated against this threat. More so.
Dagos' agents being the responsible party?
The Pale Elf himself.
Oh, did we wait? The Pale Elf. That was what's his name? Was that the guy who killed me?
Yes. I believe you would.
We've met.
I believe you would. God damn it! I believe you would consider this fairly pale.
Yeah, that's pretty damn pale.
Yes, the Pale Elf himself was responsible.
Yet another reason to see him slain when we meet again.
With a very dry smirk, she just says, "Seems that list grows longer by the day."
Indeed.
The Pale Elf.
Uh,
Nope, go ahead.
no, continue.
The Pale Elf is Dagos' chief. It is he who has coordinated this great conflict across the mortal planes. His web has spread far, and he has co-opted, coerced, or he has bribed, co-opted, coerced, convinced, persuaded, threatened countless cults and powerful entities to serve in this war.
So he is the linchpin of Dagos' operations in the mortal world, then.
Precisely. His power is undeniable. She kind of purses her lips as she just says, "For a mortal to be able to storm Shay's realm is unprecedented."
Ahran will relay to her the interaction we had with the Pale Elf, where he offered the return of him and his companions who were sacrificed to Dagos' souls if we would work with him to, betray Dagos.
She ponders this. Oh God.
It would seem that he agrees that no mortal should be able to storm Our Lady's realm, and believes he deserves a title to suit the deed.
The fool strives for the divine, and I presumed even I assumed his arrogance had some limit.
That is, of course, if he spoke truly to me and my companions.
She does ponder this for a moment, but says, "Who can say? It seems he has some degree of interest in you and your group. I cannot say I disagree. If I'm correct, you are the same. You and your companions are the ones who intervened in the city of Florency."
Correct. That was where I met
The agent.
Yeah, the agent. That is where I met the agent I spoke of earlier.
Interesting. She seems to ponder this as she simply looks to you as she says, Do you bear the mark?
That the pale elf gave me?
No. She is referring to something else. If you recall.
Oh. She's talking about the nightingales.
Yes.
Ahran will shake his head, though he will addendum that with, I am being considered for it, as I have been told, though.
You.
Or is that something he shouldn't say?
No, that is something. Hang on, do you have it in your inventory? I hope you do.
The dagger, yes.
No, there's something else. Oh fuck! You don't have it in your inventory. Remember
What is this thing?
Remember the black metal feather that you got from Razzo? The Raven's feather. It was among the artifacts he gave you.
I have no memory of this, but I will add it now.
Well, he gave you. That was basically him recommending you. You
Right.
must undergo
Ahran
at this stage. You would need to undergo trials to complete it.
Right. Ahran is going
she
to
is asking
produce
if
the
you-
feather.
Examining it, she would say, I had been told by Our Lady to expect the arrival of one to prove themselves. I suspect that is. I now know that you. Looking to you. Oh, someone messaging me? No, damn it. Oh wait, is Niall alive? He's online again.
He lives!
Well, let's keep going. But yes.
Alright.
He would say she would say a silent sanctum is located here here within upon this island. She does warn you that the sanctum is long since abandoned, and lies deep within the territory of a brutal orcish tribe. She kind of presses she reaches across the table and presses 2 fingers against your forehead as you see the location in your mind's eye. As she imparts the secret to you.
All right.
You would be you here is where it is.
I see.
The Silent Sanctum is where one goes to complete the trials of the trials of a nightingale. It is there. You will either prove yourself to your lady, or you will meet your end.
I'm debating if Ahran would confide in How do you say her name again?
1 second. Lasagna.
Lasagna. Okay. You know what? Ahran will confide in her about his whole deal. As I was sacrificed to Dagos by the Pale Elf, I am not in possession of my whole soul. Given the situation where where there's already been 12 stolen. I don't necessarily want to force Our Lady to pledge herself to battle for mine as well. I'm intending to approach her ally, Chenansa, about repairing mine.
She hears this and says, "That is a most unusual proposition. She doesn't. She kind of thinks a moment as she says, almost in a more lighter tone, kind of breaking the hardened character she had been speaking through, as she just says, "I do not know if that would work for you. I suspect I would assume there are consequences, regardless.
Of
I would
that
be
I do not
cautious."
doubt. Of that I do not doubt. But so long as I can continue to be a loyal and useful servant of Shay, I will accept them. After all, I already fought to save an island of Janansa's children.
Then
I'm
perhaps
sure
you
that
have
has to...
then perhaps you have earned some of her.
That is the hope.
I wish you luck in this endeavor.
Thank you, sister.
She will then once again kind of do what she did before. This time, imparting upon you the location of the sanctuary within this city.
All right. Arn thanks her and will like probably
The sanctuary,
head there to...
for your curiosity, the sanctuary is located in the city within the city's library.
Ah, lovely place to hide it.
You would know that this library,
with
as you've been in the city long enough, is also a
that
temple
in
to Cain.
You know, that makes perfect sense. Hide the temple to Shay in the temple to Cain. That is artful. That is.
Not like they're gonna rat.
Exactly. With that in mind, Arn will probably head down there, try and meet with the rest of the cult, and give them what information he has, and try and see if they can send a message to get a message through to Nyulrin's family. Doesn't expect it to be exactly quick, but hey, at least it'll be discreet.
Yeah. All right. With all that in mind,
Specifically Nyulrin's uncle.
yeah, I knew
Nyulrin's
what you
uncle,
were.
who,
I knew what you were getting at.
I was going to say, not his whole family. Some of those apparently are bastards.
Yeah, some of them are bastards.
But
But yeah, with that, is there anything else you would like to do or attempt?
sort of like, yeah, getting in touch with the agents here in this city. Maybe hear if there's ask about anyone up in Dunwich who he could get in touch with. But other than that, he's probably gonna head back to where everyone else is.
All right. Jakar, you would see Ahran emerge from the Cheyenne Den.
Welcome back. How'd the
Hopefully, I
talk
didn't
go?
keep you waiting for too. As well as can be expected considering the circumstances.
Fair enough.
Well, we should probably reconvene with the others. I need to stop by the library first.
Oh,
But go on ahead.
All right. I'll say, for the sake of simplicity, and since we're probably going to call it here soon, just DM me what messages you would like to send and to who.
Right.
Meanwhile, Jakar, you have arrived back at the estate to smell fresh meat cooking. Dirk, as you open the smoker, the meat is sizzling. The meat is sizzling, and it looks and smells perfect.
Alright, time to get everything else done. And Dirk will just finish his kitchen prep and start, I guess, prepping the meal.
Sounds good.
Ah, shit. Didn't mean to send that just yet.
That's fine. By the time you have finished putting everything together, and all the plates are in order, and all the food is cooked and served, Ahran has only just finished sending his letters. And is going to miss probably the best meal your group has had, barring all of that awesome festival food at Palelo. The meal is phenomenal. The fire salts add a great deal of just natural spice and tang to the food that just... I mean, Bailey, you think it's actually kind of familiar to some of the stranger foods you had in your time in the Feywilds. But Max, you and Jakar, you and Dirk have never had anything like it. I think that's where we'll call it tonight. Sorry for the very slow session today, everyone.
Yeah.
I suspect that a moment of calm will be very warranted for what's coming up soon. Calm before the storms are oftentimes very deep.
All right.
Is there any business anyone would like to attend to before we call it for the night?
When Ahran does finally get back, if there's any leftovers he'd like to eat.
None. There's just none.
There's
none. There's such thing as leftovers
one
when
leftover.
Dirk is around.
All right. I guess Ahran will have to go out and get some food. Like, he does actually kind of look a little sad when he hears about what he missed. It's not so much snoozing as...
You snooze, you lose. I am not
I'll
letting
be sure
this
to
shit
try.
get
I'll be
cold.
sure to stick around. That's understandable. I'll be sure to try and stay around next time you decide to cook something like this, I'll
Oh.
Hmm?
One real thing for you, Flinger, for your own reference. Something that you noticed as you were eating your food. It never cooled down. It
Oh.
stayed perfectly hot and sizzling the whole time.
Dirk would have probably just still eaten it like it was going to go cold.
Probably.
I don't-
But it seems the fire salts kept the food perfectly cooked.
All right.
I am